ahead, slow it down and make it no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those windshield wipers snapping out the tempo, playing perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep it rolling.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Oh wait, I don't know why this should not be on Kim's. Wait, what did I just do? Oh no. Hold on, let me turn this off on Kim's. Remove. Delete on YouTube. Yes, there. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. Even though Kim might actually want to clip some of this, there we go. It should be all fixed now. Let's see. There's a lot of people live right now, so you just give me 1 second here, you guys, while I get this together. Because this was not intended, but I wanted to get this down so that I can clip a piece for some other platforms and stuff, because we are running out of time here, guys. And I just want to also give you a little tip about tomorrow night and some other things going on. Why can't I find this so I can put it up? There it is. Here we go. Okay, there. Whoops, had it on Kim's for a quick second, but we good now. Everything good. What's up? What's up? 6 people in the live. How you guys doing? And yeah, there we go. Hey. What am I doing here at night, right? I see a lot of lives going on. I see I saw Chuck was live. I saw I was in Vinny Koo's live for a little bit. Gig Economy Podcast was live. So there was a lot of lives tonight. And Wednesday's kind of like that. I haven't seen Vinny be live in a minute. Chuck was live, and Gig Economy is always live on Wednesdays. So check them out. And Miko was live too with her new channel and her new push. I don't want to spill it wrong. I've had Miko on the podcast. Go check out her channel. I'll put it in the show notes of this after this, because I'm going to clip a couple parts out of this. I want it to be interactive. I want to see what you guys have. But first and foremost is, so I was talking with Kim, and we are running out of time. So this is the last pitch, you guys. And if you think you've heard it, come in the chat. We got some other things we can chat about at the end, because I'll clip this up. But we're at the end of what we can do for a deal for Display Ride with you. So Display Ride at the end of the month goes from the unit itself, the camera itself. Do I have it here? I do not. I thought I had it in my logo corners, but it's on the thumbnail. It's the unit itself. It is going up from 200 to 300. And again, you guys will, when I do live Wednesdays, the last mile, like I said today, if you missed it, the last mile, I'm going to try and have like one CEO on a month on Wednesdays. When I do, it'll be at its regular time of 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific. That'll be like once a month, a CEO episode of Last Mile. The other 3, as far as I can tell, in the upcoming months leading up to the new year, all the other 3 Wednesdays a year will be live from the whole day. Today got cut a little bit short. We got 3.5 hours in. Last week we got 7.5 in on a live stream, and the week before we got 5. But and I'll always promote Display Ride during that, because I've had one for 3 years. But the opportunity to save a lot of money is going to be gone. So Kim and I have been working with Abdul and DisplayRide.com. This is kind of the last time and tomorrow night we'll plug it too. But this is probably the last time you guys are going to hear it like big plugged, other than when I'm like live streaming and it goes off and I say that's Display Ride, and the code won't, as far as I know, the code won't be valid anymore. So at DisplayRide.com, we're going to go through it here real quick. I'm going to just tell you guys about things that maybe, because even like Abdul's working on changing the name, because there was some things that threw some people off, and I want to go just through it real quickly. But right now, if you do decide to pull the trigger by the end of the month, I know times are tough. I know that we're all working a little more. I know inflation. I know inflammatory rates. I know the effect of the grocery store, the simple day-to-days. rent, just everything. Life is just more expensive. It always is. However, we are in a presidential cycle. In the last couple months of it, things get weird. Gas is up, groceries are up again. We just can't get over this stuff. It's just like it's one of those times where, like, as much as I've heard this so many times in my lifetime, you can't make this stuff up. It just can't. It's just no matter, even when you feel like you're getting ahead, you just get knocked three back. It's just tough. But for now, if you can figure this out, I've said before too, I don't recommend it, but you can turn the service off and still use the camera. And it does have an SD card, and you can take it inside and pull it. I don't recommend it. Abdul doesn't recommend it. But if you buy a camera right now, it will cost you $200 through Sunday. Sunday night at midnight, even though Monday is the last day of the month, Sunday at midnight, I believe the promo ends. So would he honor it on Monday? I'm sure he would, but that might not accept the code. I'll have to ask him the way they had it coded in. So anyway, should be till the end of the month, but we know till the end of Sunday, which means you have tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even if it is Monday, just think of it that way. We got 4 days left starting when you get up tomorrow. You got 4 days of being awake left, however you want to value those hours. But $200 instead of $300 for the camera. And if you put in, and you got to put in code Rodeo at checkout, that'll get the $100 taken off, and it turns the services from $20 a month down to $10. I'm not trying to push you into this, but I am saying you can turn those services off. You can buy the camera for $200, and it's a company that's in business. I always tell you, if you're going to go with it, if you're going to get an SD card camera, make sure the company's in business. So they're in business. It would not, like, I've had it almost 3 years, and I don't turn my service off. Like, I have my service on, and I've needed the footage many times. I think Kim talked about it, and we'll talk about it on Roundtable tomorrow night too. But you can turn the service off and still be grandfathered in. What that means is $20 a month for the platform cloud storage. It is its own phone line. I mean, it's its own phone line. If you needed to make an emergency call, it is a phone line. It's an Android. So it's a smartphone, and it's transferring more data than any of our plans have in constant. So if you really think about that, when you're like, why so much? That's why. I mean, think about it. Can you go get a $10 a month unlimited data plan that you're using 100 times the data because it's raw footage of DASHCAM? And I want to stay away from DASHCAM here, but I do want to say that Abdul is good, people. This is I used to like a DASHCAM called Owl before I even knew about Display Ride. Pre-pandemic and stuff, one of my favorites was Owl. Owl was very expensive. It was like $40 a month for the service. The camera was very expensive itself, and Owl went out of business. So they're like the only other real big player that I know that does the cloud storage upload. And as well as, once it's unplugged, like if somebody were to grab your camera and run, you would have 2 minutes of footage of that uploaded to the cloud. So they're not getting it if it's turned on. Now, what I was trying to say to you, and I'm not trying to build on this, but you can get the camera right now and turn off the monthly service. However, I don't suggest doing that. There's a button to push. It goes right to your phone. There's a you can request blocks of data. You can go back as far as 2 weeks and say, hey, on this date, I need this time to this time sent to me. And they can send it over in different ways. At the end of every day where where Display Ride is plugged in, you get a summary, and you can click any of the instances where your car was on and try and scrub through and say what parts you need. So it's really cool, because even through the email, you can scrub through it and see what you need. And then you just reply to that email and say, hey, I need this. And it's a lot easier, I think, than even the portal. It just comes, you get a summary email every day. But you can also push a button on the camera in any emergency, or even somebody else's emergency. I've had a situation where I helped somebody else's emergency. I saw somebody else get rear-ended, and I went over and said, are you okay? The lady said yes, and it was a expired tag pickup truck, but it smashed her from behind, and then it jumped the medium and it took off. Well, I yeah, it's expired tags, but I was able to push the button, get it to my phone in 15 seconds, and then say to the lady, you want me to send this to your phone? She was blown away. She's like, what? And I showed her on my phone, and she's like, absolutely. So the police are still en route. She's sitting there. I already had it to her phone. So when the police got there, she had it on her phone to show, hey, here's the guy rear-ending me. It helped the police. I don't know if the guy got caught because obviously I left that situation once I knew she was okay. But I would imagine if he didn't, he was very lucky because it gave them all the things they needed. Hey, this was a two-tone pickup truck, early 80s because it was an older truck. Just there was a lot of detail on that, and especially what he had done to her. So yeah. Hey Rick, hey Ellen. I'm just recording this because right now I can go back and edit this for some TikTok and some other pieces that I want to do. But I want to roll through this real quick because Display Ride and Abdul's a friend of Kim and mine and yours. I'm sure you guys have seen him on here multiple times. We're running out to the end of this month to get this done. So it is called on the website still Introducing the Rideshare Monitoring Platform. And I talked to Abdul and I told him I thought this is a good idea. For those of you wondering, Abdul Qasim is the CEO and founder of Display Ride. We've had him on the program many times. He is going to call it the I want to get this right. Gig app worker monitoring platform. Right now it's the rideshare monitoring platform. But even the dash cam, so the dash cam's here, it goes out the back, it goes out the front. When you are doing delivery, the dash cam runs for 2 minutes when you turn your car off. So think about that. A lot of us we're still in an age here in the United States anywhere where people are still choosing leave at my door, right? So if people are saying leave at my door, you can actually just kind of I do this all the time. I don't do as much delivery as a lot of you. And, it only somewhat would help, but it would for your safety, at least when you're in apartment complexes. But like when you're delivering to somebody's house or whatever, you can just kind of point your car there and you don't need to leave it running because when you turn the car off, it says display ride will turn off in 2 minutes. Usually when you're doing delivery, you come back and turn your car back on and it's still running. It doesn't do that turn off because you haven't even allocated the 2 minutes. So you can aim it at the door. And here's a couple things that it actually does for you very well. So when you aim it at the door, you go put the food down, you take a picture, we know for all the food apps, and you walk away. Most of the time, people are good and they, everything goes good. Yep, you took the picture, you did everything like you're supposed to, no worries. Once in a while, the people say, oh, I didn't get the food. Well, we won't be able to help in the way of, unless they have a Ring doorbell or something, on who took the food. But as long as you are an upfront delivery driver, you will be able to say, I have video footage of me. And it's time stamped. And we've talked about this before. It's real time stamped, just like a cell phone or something. Cause like a lot of these dash cams, guys, they won't hold up in a court of law if they're not cloud uploading time stamped, because those can be altered so easy. I can even go back and set the date on something else and it overwrites it and keeps the same footage. The footage is very easy to see. You get plate numbers, everything, but you can aim it towards the door. You go drop the food, you take the picture, you get back in the car and you leave, and you don't even have to worry about, what if they say I didn't deliver the food? If they do, you're going to have a bigger story because you're going to be able to say, look, here's the dash cam. Like, first of all, you have the picture that you sent through to the app, but now you have yourself in the car here in front of the dash cam. You're going to see you dropping the food, taking the picture, coming back to the car, driving away with the food there, and you're leaving. And it would be very hard because if you're continuing on and you're moving away from there, they can't say 2 minutes later he took the food, because you're going to be able to prove with the video footage, no, I was in the car and I had left that scene. So no, that's not correct. And you actually have proof that would probably help to get you reactivated, which we know a lot of times these days is getting, I hate to say it's getting a little better because it's not, but they don't like, there was a time they were going stop at the footage, but now they're back to, if you have it, they have to deal with it and they know it. What's what's up, Mad Cat? What's up, Roy? You can get footage of their dog eating the food. Yeah, I mean, well, no, you see, okay, so Mad Cat, so you'd that's what I'm saying is you'd have it, you, who cares what happens to the food? That's my point. I mean, I care, you care, like we're doing our job, right? Or people who do food delivery primarily. I only do it as a portion of my earnings, but I prefer other apps and other B2B network stuff. But even that, it helps my safety. But here's the thing is that if the dog eats it, if somebody steals it off the porch, it's not you. And see, that's something that we get blamed for. Like Dashers and Uber Eats people get blamed for that a lot. They get, people say like, well, yeah, you took the picture of yourself dropping it, but then you stole it. And here's the problem is there's a lot of Ring camera footage out there that actually shows that, yes, not all, but it gives us all a bad name. Many, not many, a bad group, a bad small demographic of us do go back and take that food or whatever, and it gets caught on a Ring doorbell, and that kind of stuff goes viral pretty quick. But if you can show, and it's all live track, GPS, even when you're out of a zone, it's recording on a true timestamp inside of the display ride camera, and then as soon as you get back to a good cell zone, it goes at 2 times speed to upload that data and still keep it timestamped and marked as real. And all of it can be used in court. So when you can send that kind of stuff and it's digital assigned timestamping, not SD card, pulled it out, pulled the footage. When you can use a company and say no, they can vouch for it, and they have that leverage to say no. Look, we're using this, and this. This is real time. Then you have a different ability. So if the dog eats it or whatever, you're 2-3 blocks, 2-3 miles away at that point. So if they call it in as the food was never delivered, it sucks. We want to make sure the customer has the best experience. But if this is a customer trying to claim you didn't deliver it and you did, or if somebody stole it after you did, that's not on you. You did your job, you delivered it. But if they're going to say, well, the delivery guy delivered it, and I guess he stole it because I see the picture and that's my door, but it's not here. Either they took it and they're just lying, and people do that, or somebody else took it. People do that. They see other people dashing and whatnot, and they sit in. I mean, there was a scam a while back about people sitting in Five Guys and watching Dashers and Uber Eats drivers leave and just following them to wherever they went and wherever they dropped the food off. And after they took the picture and left, just grabbing it and leaving. So they'd sit in the Five Guys lot and just wait for the drivers to come out. So it's there's a lot of ways this scam can go, but it's one of those times where if you can prove it, do it. But also the safety, and I'm going to mention that because Roy's in here. What's he saying? Yeah, taking doo-doo in the lobby of an apartment. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Roy and I have done a lot of safety things together, and that's at least, I'm glad he's in here tonight because it actually reminds me of that. And I was going to talk about it anyway, but the primary use is your safety. Even to the rideshare drivers, like I had a bunch of you guys asking me, how do I get it to not say this ride is being recorded for yours and your passenger safety? And there's options to turn it off for delivery drivers. There's options to set it from 2 or every 5 to 10 to 15 to 30 minutes. People were like, how do I set it to every 30? And I'm like, dude, if you're doing rideshare, leave it on every 5, because you want that, dude. Even like a drunk, a non-drunk, somebody even that you're not suspect on, you don't have any reason to think anything weird would happen. You never know. That is just another trick to help. I mean, will it stop somebody that wants to do something? No, but it could make them go, you know what? Let's get out of this Uber ride and jack the next guy. And I'm not saying that's a great solution, but it's not you, man. Can't take care of everybody, but you got to take care of yourself and your family. So I really do. This is a product I truly believe in. We're running out of time here. This savings is huge to you guys. I'm going to put it down there at the bottom. I'm going to see what you guys got going in the chat. But yeah, I'm going to cut this into a couple pieces for a couple things for Abdul, along with a couple other things. But so it is Display Ride. And again, guys, I even got Abdul he's going to be changing the name from Rideshare Monitoring Platform to Gig App Worker or Driver. I can't remember. Gig App Worker or Driver Monitoring Platform, meaning it's for all apps. It's when I do Curry. It's if you do Rideshare, if you do delivery, it doesn't matter. All these are very important. So displayride.com at checkout, enter code Rodeo and save a third $100 on the camera and half price of the cloud monitoring fee. And again, guys, it's its own Android, it's its own cell phone with a data plan, this thing, and that's why it's cloud upload, and it's uploading 100 times the storage or the data that any of us do. Even YouTube creators and stuff who use the cameras for such things, we're not even using that nowhere near that kind of data. We're talking raw footage being uploaded in real time, and it's stored for 2 weeks. So in half price of the monthly monitoring fee, which is $20 a month, but half price is 10. You get grandfathered in. You can turn it off too if you work seasonal for gig work. I would not recommend it. I've had mine on for 3 years. It's the one thing that without question I can say to you guys, this is something you should have. I mean, there are people who say you should just have a dash cam. That's good enough. If you can't read the license plate, if the company that makes like if you find a dash cam that's $400, but it's $100 on Amazon, I've always said to you, do me a favor and just look and see if the company you're buying the dash cam from, A, is still in business, and B, if you go to their direct website or their products page or whatever, are they still actively selling dash cams, or have they gone to the sale part of Amazon? Because if they're not actively selling the dash cams themselves anymore and they're not making them, then there's going to be no support. And an SD card, I've had a couple, they burn out. Weather depend, so many factors, and not the same. You don't have that with this. So $10 a month, but you got to use code Rodeo, and you got to do it by here. I'll end it here. 4 days left. 4 days left by Sunday night. So in October, it goes back to $300 for the camera and $20 a month for the monitoring service, and it's worth it, you guys. It really is. I understand not being able to afford things right now, but it's one of those things where I can't say a bad thing about it. Like I said, Roy and I have done safety videos before, and I think we've done some really good ones, and put that out there for you guys. Roy's sometimes said, well, they don't care about those as much, but I think Roy and I have done our best job to try and make sure you guys at least listen to what we're saying. I think there's some really good things that came out of those discussions. I hate to say this, Roy and I have had discussions about have a plan. That plan isn't always the prettiest plan. I mean, it might involve, if you're doing rideshare, it might involve you, like I've said, my plan. If I'm doing rideshare and I'm on the highway and they're telling me go past the exit, go up to the rural road, get off. We've seen the news articles on those. Most of those people end up killed. And if there's a gun involved or whatever, don't count on a good ending. They're not taking you somewhere else and telling you to take a different route because they're going to let you out and just steal your car. I mean, they might, but most likely in most of these stories we read, it's a very bad outcome. So once a gun's pulled, see, to me anyway, I have a thing about just gun it, because if you're gunning it, they're going to tell you to slow down, then pretty much almost immediately, because you're taking things out of their control. But then right as that point happens, just if you're on a highway, or if you're not on a highway, you're even better off, because just run into a car, even a cop car. And it'll be the only time in your life you get to do it. It'll be fun. Just ram a cop car. But if not, and if you're on a highway, just gun it and just run into the medium. They're not going to want to, I mean, it still could happen. You're not getting a guarantee, but I think you're a lot better off to not get shot if you do that, because why do they shoot you if you run the car into, if you have a gun pulled on you from the back seat and you run into the medium and your car smashes and it doesn't drive, why would they shoot you? You know, I mean, my point is, why put a murder charge on there? They can't take the car anymore. They just want to get out and run before they have that murder charge on them. And I know that seems very extreme, but I mean, guys, go Google, go Google News and put in Uber or Lyft or Rideshare, and tell me if half the stories aren't about some violence that happened in or sexual assaults or whatever. This can come so in handy. So I'm going to cut this up into pieces, but I'm going to spend a few minutes with you guys anyway, because I know everybody else was live tonight. So I wanted to see what you guys are doing. So, hey, Ellen. Hey, Rick. Hey, what's up, Mad Cat? What's up, Roy? What did Roy say in the beginning here? How many people in here is in a gig life crisis? I would reword Roy's question to say, how many people in here are facing economic crises regardless, and what are you doing about it? You can only, I mean, some people can only do what they can do. I'm doing what I can do, and I've just had to really condense and shrink what, you know, like no extras and I'm doing extra work. And you know, I mean, I was saying this before, I've said it a few times now, a grocery store visit has given me panic attacks. I mean, it's not just slight anymore. Maybe to some of you it is, you know, maybe again, we all different things hit us at different times, but like groceries hit me real hard. It's been going up for a while, but are you kidding me? Like now it's crazy. And then Mad Cat says you can get footage. Yeah. But it's, again, see, you'd be leaving. So like that's on them. If it's their dog, they need to figure that out and not pin it on the driver. Gig life is definitely a crisis, but W2 life is a crisis as well. Yeah. That's something I've been saying a lot lately, is that, you know, I feel like, and I even said this today on the live, that if you have a goal with a W2, by all means, but there was a window there for a while, probably even the first part of this year, but the last 6 months of last year, even with the border problems and stuff, there was a long time where there were some W2 jobs out there. I don't know if you guys have heard of what's like called ghost job reporting, but that's what's being done right now. So like basically what ghost job reporting is, it helps one party look good. And both parties have done it. So this is not one way or the other, but it's when like, let's say that company X needs to hire 3 people in their PR department, whatever. Okay. And they put that they have 50 openings to come in and apply. They might actually just be doing that because of their connections with other affiliates and things to help the jobs report, but they might also be doing it to get some new lifeblood on their in their inventory for resumes to go to of people who are worthy of the jobs, if they feel like things might change or the ship might tip a little bit. But in reality, they're saying we have 50 jobs, but they really only have 3. And that's what's called ghost reporting, and it's been used in politics for years. It's not it's a joke. It shouldn't be you know, it shouldn't even be a thing, because somebody should check. I mean, you know, we have all these departments and stuff, and we have all these groups that look in to make sure that all these stats are right, and you know, this, that, and the other. And when they're doing these job reports, why aren't you going to the companies like 6 weeks, 4 weeks later and saying, hey, out of those 50 jobs, how many jobs do you fill? Oh, you only filled 3? Why? Because you only had 3? Because there's no way they can say, oh, we just couldn't find any people. Really? Because if you got good W2 jobs, you're going to fill them. So if you have a W2 path or something, or if that's your more comfortable state, by all means, go for it. You don't need my permission anyway. By all means, go for it. But the W-2 world is a little harder right now than it has been. People I know that have gone back have come right back to gig work, and they left because it wasn't working so well here. Things are just tough right now. I think we can all agree on that. So, um, and for me, like living in this city is pretty crazy. I've got this piece I was going to do. I think I'm going to do it later in the week because it's actually the best piece on what's going on here with in Aurora, Denver, with all of our sanctuary city status and stuff. I've done a piece with Luis. I did a Delivery TV. I did a piece with Hannibal is Hungry about 10 days ago. That's very good about New York and Denver, and we went through all of this, but this piece is the best one I've seen, and I want to do like a reaction video to it, and so that will be upcoming. Another thing, I'm going to talk about it on the round table tomorrow night. I almost want to tease you guys with it though. So check this out. I do production, right? I do lasers, lighting, staging, sound, pyrotechnics, anything. But my preference is lighting and lasers. So the other day, I've always, this is a company that probably, especially you guys, I don't know about you girls, but us guys, we use this. Like I use this as clippers on my face, and Philips Norelco, right? Philips, pretty main known brand, right? Well, check this out. So yesterday in my bathroom, I was unplugging it, right? Here's the plug. I was unplugging it, and snap, this piece came off the back. This is in my bathroom, wet floor, getting out of the shower. This chipset right here caught fire or went and right from this fuse threw off a flame, but it also threw me backwards into the wall. Now it's 110 volts. I've worked with lasers and things up to like 220 and hard wiring them in on location at venues and stuff. So I've had some bigger short shocks. But when this piece came off, if you guys can imagine, so when the piece came off the back, I was here trying to pull it out, and my fingers went right to this metal part, which was the part that sparked. And dude, I couldn't let go of it till it was fully out. Luckily, I did have enough momentum, because here's what I have to say. If this had been in there any longer, if you guys have ever been electrocuted, it starts going like that. And if you have some motion, it's going to come out and you're just going to get it. Oh my God. But if this had got stuck in there until somebody kicks me away, I'd have, who knows, man. It's 110, maybe I'd have fallen at a point or whatever, because if, once it gets you enough. Question there was a guy who had a Bic lighter a couple years, maybe before the pandemic. He had a Bic lighter blow up on him. And how much can a Bic lighter do, right? I mean, some people might say, oh, wreck my life. But to us, like, how much can a Bic lighter do, right? So it blew up, though. It did do a little damage to his hand, but like nothing long term, as far as I know. It was just like some burn marks there and whatnot. And he ended up getting millions of dollars. So my question is, do I sue Norelco? I've been buying this product for years. I've never seen anything like it. It's complete trash. It's not some like spin-off on a Norelco where it's, like if you guys have ever been to New York City and the guys who sell the Rolex watches, a Rolex is an exact duplicate of a Rolex. However, like the first time you need to wind it or something, all the parts will come out. I actually was in New York for a wedding many years ago, and I was with a few people, and one of the people we were with went up to one of the guys and bought like 2 for $50. And they were really nice. Like mine fell apart within 24 hours, but I'm just saying, this is not that. This is a true Philips product. And I don't know. We'll decide. I mean, I'm not gonna, but I'm just wondering how to handle that, because I'm pretty pissed off, man. Like, I don't need to get electrocuted because I buy a nicer razor than just the $2 one. The fact that I do spend the $15 instead of like they make ones for 2 or 3. But the fact I spend 15, 20 on this one, That's supposed to make sure I'm not electrocuted, right? Hey, what's up, Life of Richard? How you doing, bud? Um, let's see, what is this now? I'm still waiting on the true version of vehicle ring cam. True version. Yeah, not waiting. I mean, I would also get this one too. Yeah, you have your life in their hands. I mean, it's also like, dude, if you're doing rideshare, you absolutely need one. You need to have a display ride or a cloud uploading dash cam. Too much can go wrong with the SD cards, especially maybe not where you live. Weather won't be the issue, but if the display ride has been sitting on a shelf for years and it seems like this amazing, or not a normal dash cam on Amazon seems like an amazing deal. That's why I said check the company, check the product, make sure they still sell dash cams, because most of them don't. They got in and out and realized it was just so saturated. So hey Bubba Sue, how you doing? And uh I hope I get this right, man. Is it Shikanini? Is that right? Shikanini? I just want to make sure I get it right because it's twice. Um, and Rick, what's up? So Kansas 50th anniversary tour. Nice. Sounds fun. All these big platforms annoy me on the opposing end of gig workers. Thank you, all workers. Yeah, I mean, this is why we keep talking about multi-apping. You got to be multi-apping. And that actually helps you learn how to be a W or a W2. Fucking Roy. um, excuse me, guys. But that actually helps you learn how to be a real independent contractor, because a real independent contractor would schedule their day properly. Into that, I'm going to take a quick second here to point out some things. The gigs that pay the better money, the delivereds, the curries, those kind of things. One of the biggest problems people have with them is that if you unassign a scheduled delivery the next morning, you potentially could be deactivated or not see offers. Of course, that's the way it is. Remember, guys, this is the perfect analogy about being an independent contractor, because if you are an independent contractor, which by definition you are, I mean, call it what you want, but right now we still are by definition. In that case, don't just let the companies want to treat you like an employee and pay you like a contractor. You're supposed to be taking advantage of that. That's the perk. So be multi-apping and try to work with as many apps don't have acceptance rating. Like, perfect example, my most hated app. Many people think it's Instacart. It's not. It's Rodeo. However, Rodeo and Instacart both, but Rodeo especially, as much as the offers suck, I've always said I can't get mad if they're not using an acceptance rate on me, if they're putting the offer up there with all of the transparent details, like here's what you need to do, here's where you need to pick up, here's where you need to drop off, here's how many miles it is, here's how much it pays. That's just what it is. Do you want to do it? And if they're showing all the stops and the map and everything like they do, I can't get mad at them because they don't have an acceptance rating and they don't hold it against me. If I had an acceptance rating metric with Rodeo, it would be like 0.00001%. I mean, not quite that bad, but I'm telling you, because also you don't get offers. You just go on to Rodeo and see what's available and pick it. That kind of thing. So the systems can work different, but they need to be transparent. So I hate Rodeo the most because it doesn't pay anything. However, I don't hate Rodeo the most because there are many apps which are not transparent. Rodeo is. How can I get mad at Rodeo? And they don't hold acceptance rate against me. I've been on it for years. I barely ever use it. It wouldn't even make a percentage, not even 1% of my yearly earnings come from just even in gig apps. And I do other things. I do production work and stuff. So if I just take my gig apps, Rodeo isn't even 1% of my earnings in a year. But it doesn't hold anything against me and it's there. So every once in a while, it helps me out a little bit. And that's the point. Get on with apps like that. Yes, there's advantages to taking everything for like 10 with delivered or 10 with curry and you get to a different level. Great. But like, okay, so take the, take the 10 and then see what comes up and then do what you want after that, because the AR isn't being held against you. So it doesn't matter. And there isn't one being shown to you. You won't know what your AR is on those kind of apps. There isn't one on Curry. There isn't one on Delivered. There isn't one on Rodeo. There isn't. I know Instacart doesn't show you one, but they do have their platinum and aluminum and all that crap that I like to joke about levels. So that gets a little weirder, but still. What's up, Jersey? How you doing, bud? I'm just out here. I was just starting this. I just did a piece on the new gig app worker or driver. I'm not sure which one he's going to use monitoring platform for display ride, because at the end of the month, guys, and I know Monday midnight is the end of the month, but for whatever reason, from an email, I believe Sunday night at midnight, this all goes away. So you guys have 4 days left. To me, it doesn't matter. That code isn't getting me anything. It's getting you a discount. I don't have an affiliation like that with Abdul. I have done some promotions for him, but it has nothing to do with affiliate. I don't do affiliate links because even with the companies I love, I just don't. I'll do them if they're just bringing them to something or, showing where they came from, but I don't want anything with like money tied to it, because I do other ways of earning my money. I just don't like affiliate links. And so, yeah. So the bottom line is, when that code goes away, you will pay full price and you will never get a half price deal on the usage. And again, guys, passengers feel safer, drivers feel safer. Rideshare, you're going to feel safer. And nobody can say, hey, give me that dash cam and throw it out the window, because all that footage has already been captured. So, it has emergency features. It has let your family view in on what you're doing. So, yeah, guys, that was really all I was doing tonight. I'm going to kind of chop this apart into something, but I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because I'm running out of time. Tomorrow we have the round table, and on the round table, don't miss it. I had a very messed up experience with Uber Eats, and we're going to talk about it. And in fact, the rideshare guy, Chris and Sergio, are putting something together from what happened. So that might drop tomorrow too. Keep an eye out for that. But if not, I'll try and. I know I can because I gave them everything they needed. But I'm gonna bring whatever they put together on it, because we wanted it to hit the biggest audience it could. And so even I respectively not acknowledge that is this needs to go out on there. So so Chris is gonna put it out. I've given him all the info he needs to do this, but we're gonna talk about it because it's a big problem. And you guys are gonna see so many parts of this that everything went wrong. And how it was solved even is so over the top in some of the wordage they use, but I don't want to get into it tonight because it's a big part of tomorrow's roundtable discussion. So do join us. And also, we're going to be talking about just kind of balancing work and life and making sure that even during these toughest times, everybody's taking some time to do something. You got to. I've actually been hearing from more people lately than I had in a while about, because through the audio podcast, I'm always in touch with people. I have been since the beginning. People email me long emails and stuff. So, and tell me what's up. But a lot of people are seeing what we're going to go through tomorrow night as part of it. But also, these people are not balancing on the other note, are not balancing their life and work. And they're telling me like, dude, I got to work. And I hear it here too on YouTube. I've always heard it, but we need to, make sure that, look, I've said things before, like January. Some people say January is great to them. If January is not great, like here, it's not so great. I try and do as much search and rescue and stuff like that in my certifications that I can during that month. But I've said to people like, hey, if January's like it is for me, then because after all the holidays and stuff, people just aren't using it as much. Maybe rideshare, but the other apps, maybe not as much, cutting back for a little bit. That might be a time to take a vacation, a cheap vacation, whatever, a family vacation, whatever. And I've had a lot of people through the years give me different takes on this, but I honestly believe you need to. And if here's my thing, if your take is I can't afford to go see my family, I can't afford a plane ticket, I can't afford the gas to get up there, I can't afford to take the time off, this, that, the other, save up what you can. And even if you can't get out of town, take a 2, 3, 4 day staycation. And by that, I mean, don't completely stress yourself out. Stay at home, go on a hike, hang out with your pets, hang out with your your significant other. Do what you should be doing sometimes, and literally put your phone away from you. Like, I know that a lot of us used to talk about, keep your phone away from you a good part of the day, every day, but that's not really reality anymore. So take a staycation and do it as often as you can. If you can't afford to go anywhere, at least take a staycation. Take a 2 to 3 day a month. But I'm trying to tell people, take 4 or 5 days in the new year, pick in January, February, pick a slow time for the gig apps. And just, if you say I can't afford to go anywhere, just stay at home. Eat peanut butter and jelly. Watch movies, chill out, relax, because we are all out there burning ourselves out all the time. And you can chase money as long as you want, but there's always ways to make money. And I know some people are saying, dude, it's not that easy. And it isn't. But with effort, you can always make money. But with that said, guys, I really was just doing this to talk about the display ride monitoring platform, and we're running out of time. So it's displayride.com. And at checkout, enter code Rodeo. You'll save $100 on the camera, half off the monthly service, which is $20 a month. You can get it for $10. Got to do it by Sunday night. It's nothing for me. It's for you. Because if after Sunday you decide you want it, it's not going to be $200 for the camera. It's going to be $300. It's not going to be $10 for the service. It's going to be $20. So if it's something you're interested in, and again, for those of you that joined late, it was, you can turn off the service if you want to and still use it as an SD cam. But again, I warn you against this SD cam stuff. So with that said, it's getting late. I know there were a lot of people live streaming tonight, and so I hope everybody's well. I'm going to be putting this chopped up into some other platforms. So thank you for joining the live. Hope everybody's well, and we'll see you tomorrow night on the roundtable. Don't miss it. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We run 1 hour now, and we really do. Last week was 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Told Kim we'd be crushing it, and we are. So that said, this is the display ride, guys. Do it. Don't. I've done what I can. And I really like Abdul. I really like his company. I think he's doing great things. And if you guys are interested, do it. If you're not, I mean, I've tried, and I believe in the product and stuff, but I've tried, and I understand where people are coming from. So have a great evening, everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow night on Roundtable, hopefully. And 13 will return this weekend. So, all right, everybody be well, and we'll see you back here.
She was just a baby.